Hello everybody, this is Jitendra. I'm a business coach and I'm a mentor also for few companies, and we have been going through a very hard phase in our lifetime, which is a pandemic, coronavirus. And I can say, I mean, anything which goes worst whenever there is something, and after the worst, when there is always a sunshine happens and a lot of opportunities will also come. So I was talking to a few people. I mean, they were talking of losing of jobs, and there is a huge vanishes of the existing businesses also. But it will definitely come out with a good idea at the same time because things will go parallelly. So when I say that we have to start a business in India, so we have to go through few certain things like from the documentation to the business idea. First of all, we have to understand our passions, and then we have to see what are the due and diligence is required for starting a business in India. So today we'll talk about more on how, when, and what are the aspects required to start a business in India. So I welcome new entrepreneurs and also people who are into the current businesses, but they wanted to diversify or they are facing some challenges in their current businesses. So let's come together and try to get some benefit out of it. So I have put it across some practical examples also. So we'll be taking through you for some case studies also how some businesses have been doing wonderful job, and some of the businesses been facing or maybe you can call them as a failure also. So let's start. So we'll start with the first slide, which is content. And in content, you can see there are around 25 chapters today that we are going to talk about. And there are some case studies and there are some FAQs. And we'll be discussing some frequently asked questions which people generally have in their minds. And then we'll go one on one. And if you find that there are questions which are coming in your mind and it is not covered in this crash course, so you can also do a email. We'll definitely get back and we'll be able to solve your problems. So let's start with the first chapter, which is our basic understanding of business. So today we'll be talking about more on practical aspects rather than some theoretical thing. So we'll start with the basic understanding of business, which is a important aspect when we are thinking about anything, because today's world is like fittest for survival, survival for fittest, which goes on and on. If you have done your homework, your planning in such a way where all the technology aspects, where all that your documentations are in place, then there are a lot of opportunities for people. But if anybody who wanted to start business but they have not gone through the integrity of the documentations or the aspects, or they have not done the planning, then somewhere down the line, today or tomorrow, he has to go through a tremendous problems, because now everything is plug and play, very user friendly. Even the government documentations, even the government requirements to register your company, they have everything, you know, based out of electronic things where you can go and register your things. So let's take these are so today there are 13 steps to start business in India. So I'll be taking through one on one. First, we'll see here. This is to obtain a director identifications number, which is the first fundamental, wherein you have to take a DIN, which is director identifications number. So whenever you are registering any company or you are thinking of registering any company or startup, first of all you have to be have the director identifications. Who are the people who are going to be director in the company, and this director has to obtain a DIN, which is possible by apply through different channels which Government of India has permitted. So I can give you an example of NSDL. So once you go with the NSDL website, you just need to go on Google, do some Google and type NSDL online application for DEN. You'll find out all the detail, and then you can, it is a user friendly thing and you can apply. It's just similar to that PAN number which we have been, we have been obtaining through online processes. Now the second point is obtain a digital signature. So whenever we are registering any company, whether it's a private limited or public limited, we have to do all that authorizations through our digital signatures. So digital signatures have been a mandatory thing for any company to work, so that any filing which is done with the MCA has to have authentication with the digital signature. So company director should have this digital signature thing, and this is also can be obtained through online process, and your CA will help you out and he will obtain signature for you. Then the third one, which is the reserve the company name online. This is like a, it is just like a sowing a seed, and there you have to think about it, that what name can be given to your business venture. So you just think about it, and there are applications you have to file with MCA, or probably you have to search few names, and then your names can be approved through MCA, and then you can finalize your name. So when you are registering your company, you'll talk about to your CA, give them few options, because generally you give any options where, because government of India has put in some restrictions. For example, you wanted to start a company with the name of like my dash 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 India.com. So that India phrase in any of the business sentences will be restricted if government does not find it's a suitable thing. So you have to give some name where you have some recognition. So sometimes they can ask you why you want to take this name. So that's what you should have something in your mind which can connect your business idea with your business, and that has not been obtained by anybody else in the past. So these are two things which you have to understand before thinking of your company name. So that can, ease your process. So now jump into that fourth step, stamp the company documents. All the documents required for incorporation of your companies or memoranda for articles. Now, what is this memoranda and articles of associations? This memorandum of articles of associations are basically whatever the objectives related to your business are there, it has to be laid down. So these are basically an common documents which states your objective of the company and what are the activities that you are going to do. So once you are incorporating your company, so your CA, your chartered accountant will going to ask you the objectives and the activities, and then you have to give it on the writing, and you have to duly sign all the documents whichever is required to file the incorporation of the company. So you have to go all that process one by one. So let's come to the fifth point of the business, which is get the certificate of incorporations. So this is once you file that incorporation thing with the help of your CA, your incorporation certificate will come. So it might takes 2 days. I mean, after completion of register of name, then maybe it will take 6 days, maximum 6 days, or even before also you can get it. So all the document has to be furnished, and after the due diligence by the government of India, MCA will approve your incorporation of the company. So that fifth point will be over. Then you will come down to sixth point, which is make a seal, which is a generic thing. You have to make a seal after incorporation of the company, along with the uh, same name has to be there. So it will be like XYZ private limited, XYZ public limited, and the same name you will make few seals. One seal is there which is called company seals, which is required for the documentation of submitting if you like you are taking ISO certificate or you're taking any recognition from government thing, so you require different kind of seals. So one seal is authorization, one seal is for director seal, one is for your different kind of skills you have required when you are starting the process of doing business. So after making seal, then you have to apply for PAN, which is very again, it generally goes PAN and 10. The eighth point also I'll take it. PAN 10 and DIN. Generally, people apply in the beginning itself. So once incorporation will be done, so then you apply for PAN number also, then 10 number. PAN and 10 is basically PAN is required so that your company will get the PAN number, and 10 is required for the purpose of taxation, which is TDS, and that is also be through CA you can apply. Then there is a point called number 9, which is register with Office of Inspector Shop and Establishment. This is basically your urban local body has to know that what kind of business that you are doing. So as per the law, you can apply that. Then register of GST. Now GST today has become very user friendly. You can, if your business is having a annual turnover of 20 lakhs, even every time they are increasing the limits also. So if your business turnover is lesser than 20 lakhs, you don't require GST. If you are crossing that 20 lakh turnover, then you have to apply for GST, which is again that I have mentioned the website here. You can go there and you can put some whatever they require, the detail of the company and PAN number, PAN number, then you can get GST. Then point number 11, register for professional tax at the professional tax office, which is generally not required for everybody, but yes, as per the section 5 of the Professional Tax Act, that every member is liable to taxation and shall obtain a certificate of registration from the prescribed authority. The company is required to apply to the registering authority using form number 1. So if as per the state or as per your business, your CA will guide you, then you have to register yourself with the tax office, because maybe if you're not going with the GST, then I think you may require this. Then again, it is part of your business, then registered with Employer Provident Fund Organization. What is that? This is called EPFO. This scheme is basically for your employees. The employer is required to provide necessary information to the concerned regional provident fund organization. So whatever business you are doing, either you are into services, either you are into uh, production of any material, you have to register your company with EPFO, and you have to state that these many people are working, and these many people have certain salaries. So according to their salary slabs, you have to pay the PF of all individual employees. So there are some exemptions which are there. So you can go to this website and you will find out people generally with a salary of more than 15,000 are not bound to pay that PF. But people who are lesser than 15-20,000 salary, they have to pay PF. So in PF, what happens is one part of the PF has to pay by the employer, and one part will be paid by the uh, employee salary itself. So within the employee, you deduct that much of amount which is a part of the employee. So that kind of combination you have to see. So that is number 12. For more detail, you can visit this website, and then you will find out. But you have to register with EPFO. Then point number third, register for medical insurance. Now this registration is a process by which every paid employee is identified for insurance purpose, and their individual records are set up for them. So as this ESI will call it in shortcut, where Form 01 must be submitted by the employer for registration of all employees. So this is basically required for your employees. Again, it is for the purpose of their medical safety, and you have to then register with ESI also. So this PF and ESI both are important, because when there is any medical emergency comes, then you have to see that whether their employees are having, because ESI is a very good platform that government has provided for labor class also, for the manager class also. So in any case, if your employee is getting medical emergency, he'll having that registration with ESIC, and you have to pay certain amount every month. And there are also ESI is connected with the salary of that employee. Again, this 15-20,000 ka slab, you have to see that if he wanted to get registered, then you must follow this, because this is ESI and PF are both are mandatory thing, and it is also give companies long term benefits, and also recognition of the employees also with the company. So these are the major general 13 steps that I have spoken. These are very much important, and whenever you are thinking of starting a business and you have done with your business idea, so you have to go through all the documentations, and these are the certain steps which you should follow. And with the time, maybe this all process will complete within a month, and before month also, you consult with your C chartered accountant, talk about it, talk about all the points. If is anything is missing, come back to your CEO, talk again, and complete the formalities. Once it will be done, then we'll take you to the next step. So now I'll be closing this chapter. So if you have any queries and questions, just put it down on your paper. So once we'll be taking your questions and answers, then we'll discuss more. Thank you.